following program is rated G. It is suitable for all audiences.
Good day everyone, here you are today on our favorite show, Let's Talk About Your Job. This talk show is a collection of various lessons, messages, true stories, lifestyle, and life experiences. For today's episode, we will cover today the categories of children with special needs under Individuals Disability Education Act and on the factors that affect the growth and development of children. So this topic is very important to every one of us. So we have here our 5 guests who will talk to us and answer our prepared questions. Let's give a warm greeting to our guests and I formally thank you all for accepting my invitation. So moving on for our first guest, she's a teacher from Mayapyap Elementary School. Let's welcome Miss Krizel C. Paguyo. How are you, Teacher Krizel?
I'm fine, Miss Yosha.
Good to know, Miss Paguyo. So here is the first question for you. It's very unusual because most of teachers today were taking social studies, English major, and the typical course that we have here in our country. My question for you, why did you choose to work and dedicate your life and passion to students with special needs?
So, I choose this career because I want to give a positive impact on the life of the children with disabilities who want to study and learn. My patience and dedication as a person can surely impact them to continue their life. So, I take a step that will change my life forever because being an SPED teacher, I need to be committed on this passion. This is a gift, a God-given gift.
Wow, that's great. You're really passionate with what you are doing. How about this? This is my last question for you. What's the biggest challenge and reward in working with students who require special education?
That is very interesting question, Miss Yosha. Working with students with disabilities is one of the fulfilling jobs that I have. The biggest challenges I encountered when I start to teach is the being a SPED teacher is mentally draining. So for me, if you want to be a SPED teacher, you need to have a strong personality and mentality. Working with students with disabilities is to help students with disabilities, and watching them improve each day gives me a joy, and it is truly fascinating how much they want to live and learn. It gives me a rewarding experience when I see the determination of each of my students to learn and study. I can also say that the greatest thing I can encounter here is seeing them develop their skills. Seeing them grow is life fulfilling.
What a nice answer! Thank you, Ms. Krizel. So for our next guest, he's from Cabanting City and he's a pediatrician, graduated from UP Medical Center. So let's welcome Dr. Louie Apan. Hello, Mr. Apan. How are you today?
Thank you. I'm good. Actually, the weather is wonderful. It's lovely.
It's really a good thing. So, here's your first question. My first question for you. So, I read an article claiming that if you want to be smart, you should check your genes. So, do you believe in that?
That's really an interesting topic to expand more often, but not. However, the factors that contribute to intelligence are indirect. There's a different estimate on how much intelligence is inherited, but the most common estimate I've seen is about 50%. Heritability only tells us the extent in which the diversity of a trait within a population, okay, can be considered by genetics. Individually, however, this is an unhelpful measure as there is enormous variation among people. However, they show something that is perhaps obvious, that intelligence is influenced by both biological and environmental factors. Even if the children of brilliant parents don't have a big genetic boost, raising a brilliant people can greatly affect your intelligence as long as they are caring and involved. Increased vocabulary, good nutrition, active participation, reading, and promoting education and other environmental influence can positively affect your son or offspring intelligence.
Yeah, that's right. So here is my second and last question to you. Why do 13 disability categories matter when planning reading interventions?
Yosha, the 13 disability category matters when planning or reading intervention because these activity and strategies can greatly help them and they're developing their ability to read. Children with the 13 disabilities may exhibit reading difficulties, but their instructional needs could be quite different. So it is different from a normal student. So we need to adjust. For example, a student who is a deaf, someone who cannot listen well because they have having a hearing aid or hearing difficulties, will need visual cueing system for learning phonics. But a student with ADD will need a greater emphasis on self-regulation. They need to self-regulate their needs. So this kind of intervention matters for all of them. So we really need to adjust each instruction for each student. We need to think of that.
You amaze me. Thank you, Mr. Apan. And for our next guest, she's a psychologist from Nueva Ecija. Let's all welcome Miss Kyla Mae Ignacio. How are you today, Miss Ignacio? You're so pretty.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Thank you. So, here is my first question. What techniques do you use to gain the trust of your students?
Trust is an important part of my relationship with the students. Just as in any relationship with a psychologist, the students need to see me as a person who is part of their community. And as someone who listening is an important part of building the trust. I can help the student if I speak first without listening.
Well said, okay? I love that, but what do you consider to be the skills of a good school psychologist?
There are many skills that make up a good school psychologist. For me, excellent listening skills are important. Being able to listen to students is crucial to building trust with the students and helping me to understand what is going on for the students. Being able to collaborate with students, teachers, and parents is also important. As a school psychologist, I cannot do my job alone. I need to work with others like teachers, counselors, and the faculty to succeed and help the students need. Building rapport and strong interpersonal skills are necessary.
Yes, that's so accurate. So, okay, we're not yet done. So we have here our last guest. She's a parent with her child. Let's all welcome Mrs. Macrina Cabanting and her daughter, Evangelene Cabanting. Have a wonderful day to the both of you. Hi, Mrs. Cabanting.
Hello po.
What are your fears or concerns about your child in this year of school?
Being a mother of a child with disability, it is hard for me to see my daughter in that situation. But as I always see the determination to my child to learn, all the fear and concerns fade away. And I want her to live a normal life as a child, that she can also go to school. My only concerns about my child is she has a low temper. She doesn't understand things easily. So in our house, all the care and attention we give to her. I hope she can adjust and the teacher can handle and treat them of how I treated my daughter inside our house.
That's a very warm love of a mother. So, here's my second question to you. Is there anything else you can tell me about your child that you think you would help me support her learning?
As I always observe my daughter, I think she can understand if she can receive the message clearly and when we listen to what they say. So, we just need to be patient with what they say so that way we can understand and support their feelings. Child with disabilities is hard to handle, but when you have patience, you make them understand things, then you can get along with them.
I think I need a lot of patience for the next Mrs. Cabanting. So, for our next guest, Miss Evangelene Cabanting, the daughter of Mrs. Macrina Cabanting. So, did you enjoy going to school?
Hi. Yes, especially when we play with my friends and read a storybooks.
Did you learn in school?
Yes, I learned a lot, especially since our teacher is very patient and care of us. We enjoying to learn.
That's great! I'm happy to know that a child like you has a desire to study and learn as well as to have friends. I think we're all done for the interview today with our guest. Their hearts are really fat. They're the type of people who are willing to fully accept the children with special needs. And hopefully, there will be more good people like you guys that gives lessons and knowledge to our dear youth, the youth of today. Thank you very much to all of you. And before this episode ends, I will leave a message for all our viewers out there. We live in a world with unique characteristics and situations. People learn to value and avoid discrimination, especially for those children with special needs. Let us extend our patience and accept them with full love. Thank you very much, and I hope that we can have a meaningful episode next.
I want you to all to try this thing, ganito, and try to wave this. In sign language, this means I love you, and that's it. Let's all accept our siblings, our daughters, our sons, our community leaders, the person with having a disability, and it's really nice to have a conversation like this with all of you guys. Thank you.